Hi, here we are going to discuss about the load frequency dynamics of single area and two area power system for the power system simulation using Scilab. I am Dr. D. Silas Stephen. What is real power frequency control? The real power frequency control matches the system generation according to the change in load and maintains the frequency within a tolerable limit. Now, in a power system, the load is dynamic, that is, it changes continuously. So, due to the change in load, the speed of the generator is being affected. Now, as we know, the speed is equal to 120 F by P, that is, N is directly proportional to frequency. Now, as the speed of the generator varies, the frequency is being disturbed. But the frequency should be within the tolerable limit. So in order to maintain the frequency to be within a tolerable limit, we here have the real power frequency control. Now here in the thermal power station which we have considered over here we maintain the speed of the generator to be constant by controlling the opening and closing of the steam valve of the turbine. Now, by controlling the amount of steam that impinges on the turbine, here the generator speed can be maintained constant. Thereby, the frequency of the system is being maintained constant. When you consider the functional block diagram of a real power frequency control mechanism in a single area, we have the speed governor, turbine and a generator. The model of the speed governor, turbine and generator are being derived by using various equations, but here we are directly considering the transfer function model of the governor, turbine and the generator. The governor is modeled as kg divided by 1 plus STG, and kg is the gain of the governor and Tg is the time constant of the governor, which depends on the lengths of the linkage mechanisms. Similarly, when you consider the model of the turbine, it is given as kT divided by 1 plus STT, where kT is the gain constant of the turbine, Tt is the time constant of the turbine. Similarly, when you consider the generator, the transfer function is given to be as Kp divided by 1 plus Stp, where Kp is the gain of the generator and Tp is the time constant of the generator. The Kp depends on the value of the damping coefficient. Similarly, when you consider the time constant, it depends on the inertia constant and the damping coefficient. Now let us consider a problem for solving. Here we are considering a single area power system. Here we are considering a 2 gigawatt control area model. Here the normal operating load is 1000 megawatt. Nominal frequency is 50 Hz. The inertia constant is 5.0 seconds. Speed regulation is 4%. Governor time constant Tg is 0.08 seconds. Turbine time constant is 0.3 seconds. Damping constant is 1.0%. Here we have to develop a Simulink model for a single area system with and without controller if a disturbance of 20 megawatt load increases in area. Here we have to check the time response of change in frequency. Now let us solve the problem. First, we have to determine the load damping constant B is equal to dou PD divided by dou F. So here the PD value, that is the normal operating load, is 1000 megawatt and the frequency is 50 Hz. So here we are assuming that for 1% change in the load, there is 1% change in frequency. So here the B is determined as 1 by 100 into 1000 divided by 1 by 100 into 50 is equal to 20 megawatt per hertz. Here we have to determine it as per unit megawatt per hertz. So the value is being divided by the normal value or the rated capacity of the area PR, which is equal to 20 divided by 2000 per unit megawatt per hertz. So is equal to 0.01 per unit megawatt per hertz. R is given as 4%. So here we have to determine R in terms of hertz per unit megawatt. So equal to 4 divided by 100, that's 4%, into F divided by PR. F is 50 hertz and PR is the rated capacity of the area 2000. So 4 by 100 into 50 divided by 2000 is equal to 0.0001 hertz per megawatt. Here we have to obtain it in the unit hertz per unit megawatt. So it is multiplied by 2000, that is your base value or the rated capacity of the area. So 0.0001 into 2000 hertz per unit megawatt, which is equal to 2 hertz per unit megawatt. Now we know the value for load damping constant B as well as R, by which we shall determine the value for beta, which is equal to B plus 1 by R, is equal to 0.01 plus 1 by 2, so 0.51 per unit megawatt per hertz. Now here they have given that the change in demand as 20 megawatt. So M is referred to as the change in demand, which is equal to minus 20 divided by 2000. So which is equal to minus 0.01 per unit megawatt. Now the change in frequency is equal to minus M divided by beta. So is equal to minus 20 divided by 2000 divided by 0.51. So which is equal to minus 0.0196. So this is the static change in frequency due to the change in load by 20 megawatt. Here we determine the Kp, that is the gain constant of the generator, is equal to 1 by B, which is equal to 1 divided by 0.01 is equal to 1000. Similarly, Tp is equal to 2H divided by Bf0, which is 2 into H value is given as 5 divided by B value, we have already found it as 0.01, and F0 is the base frequency or the nominal frequency 50 Hertz, so which is equal to 20 seconds. So now we have determined all the parameters that are required for the model. Now let us consider the model. Here I have drawn the Simulink model using Scilab. So here 1 divided by 1 plus 0.08 refers to the transfer function of the governor. 0.08 is the time constant of the governor that is given. Here the gain constant of the governor is considered to be as 1. Similarly, the second block 1 divided by 1 plus 0.3s refers to the transfer function model of the turbine. So there the time constant of the turbine is given as 0.3 and here the gain constant of the turbine is assumed to be as 1. Similarly, when you consider the fourth block, that is 100 divided by 1 plus 20s, 100 refers to the gain of the generator and 20 refers to the time constant of the generator. So here a disturbance of 0.01 per unit is being provided, and R we have obtained as 1 by 2. So it is being substituted as minus 1 by R as a feedback, minus 0.5. So if you draw the block and if you execute the simulation or run the simulation, we get a transient response. Similarly, let's consider the two-area load frequency control. So in case of two-area load frequency control, we consider two areas, area 1 and area 2. Both are being connected by a tie line. So tie line is a transmission line which connects two control areas. Now When the load changes in any one of the area or in both the areas, here the transfer of power through the tie line will change, and also there will be a change in frequency. But the objective of two area load frequency control is to regulate the frequency of each area and to regulate the tie line power as per the inter area contracts. So here in the two area power system, we have to maintain the frequency of the two areas to remains the same, and also we have to regulate the tie line power as per the inter area contracts. Now let us the tie line model equation. Delta P tie 1 of S is equal to 2 pi T12 divided by S into delta F1 of S minus delta F2 of S. Similarly, we have the equation for delta F1 of S is equal to delta Pg1 of S minus delta Pd1 of S minus delta P tie 1 of S into Kp divided by 1 plus STPS. Now, by making this two equation into a model, we can have the model of the tie line. Now here I have considered area 1, so which is similar to a single area model. Similarly here we have a area 2, which is again a single area model. Now these two are to be connected by the tie line model. Now as per the equations as we saw in the previous slide, here we can have the tie line model like this. So the combined model, we call it to be as the two area transfer function model. Now for our simulation, we are going to consider only the parts which are being marked with red blocks. Now here let us solve a problem for a two area system. The problem is, consider a two area power system with unequal areas. A 2 gigawatt control area 1 is interconnected with a 10 gigawatt area 2. Here they have given the detail for the two areas. Rated capacity of the area 1 2000 megawatt, area 2 is 10,000 megawatt. Normal operating load in area 1 is 1000 megawatt, in area 2 is 5000 megawatt. Nominal frequency in both the areas are 50 Hz. Inertia constant of both the areas is 5 seconds. Speed regulation of both the areas is 4%. The governor time constant of both the areas is 0.08 seconds. The turbine constant of both the areas is 0.3 seconds. The damping constant is 1% in both the areas. Now here we have to consider the two area model, for which we have to do the simulation using the Simulink model for increasing load of 20 megawatt in area 1. Now initially let us solve the problem. Now let us consider the take base as 20 megawatt. The PR1 is equal to 2000 megawatt. The PR2 value is 10,000 megawatt. That is the rated capacity of area 1 and area 2. A12 is equal to PR2 divided by PR1. So which is equal to 10,000 divided by 2000. So the PR1 is considered in the denominator because we have considered 2000 as the base. Now as we did in the single area system, now let's determine the value for B1 as well as B2. B1 is equal to dou PD1 divided by dou F. So here also we consider that for 1% change in load, the change in frequency is 1%. So 1 by 100 into 1000 divided by 1 by 100 into 50. So 20 megawatt. Now as we know that it has to be in the unit as per unit megawatt per hertz. So it is being divided by the rated capacity or the base 2000 megawatt. 20 divided by 2000. So which is equal to 0.01 per unit megawatt per hertz. Similarly, you find the value for B2, dou PD2 divided by dou F. Here the normal operating load is 5000 megawatt. So 1 by 100 into 5000 divided by 1 by 100 into 50. So 100 megawatt per hertz. So 100 divided by PR1, that is 100 divided by 10,000, because for area 2 the rated capacity is 10,000 megawatt. So which is equal to 0.01 per unit megawatt per hertz. Now R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 4%. Here in the problem, as they have given speed regulation of the regulating generators for area 1 and area 2, both are 4%. So R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 4%, is equal to 4 divided by 100 into F by PR. F is 50 Hz and PR is 2000. So 4 by 100 into 50 divided by 2000. So is equal to 0.000 Hertz per megawatt. So the unit should be Hertz per unit megawatt. So it's multiplied by the base megawatt into 2000. So you obtain the value for R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 2 Hertz per unit megawatt. Now we have determined B1, B2, R1 and R2. Now by using this B1, B2, R1 and R2, we can determine beta 1 as well as beta 2. Beta 1 is equal to B1 plus 1 by R1 is equal to 0.05 plus 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.51 per unit megawatt per hertz. Now B2 is equal to B2 plus 1 by R2, which is also equal to 0.51 per unit megawatt per hertz. But we have to determine the beta 2 value on the base of 2000. So I am multiplying it by 10,000 divided by 2000. So it is 2.55 per unit megawatt per hertz. Or else we can take it as beta 2 is equal to A12 into normal beta 1. So A12 value is 5 into 0.51. You get the value to be as 2.55 per unit megawatt per hertz. Now the change in demand is at area 1, which is 20 divided by 2000. So which is equal to 0.01 per unit megawatt. Now the equation for change in frequency delta F static is equal to delta PD2 plus A12 delta PD1 divided by beta 1 plus A12 beta 2. Now the change in demand has occurred only in area 1. So delta PD2 is equal to 0. A12 is equal to 5, delta PD1 is 0.01, beta 1 is equal to 0.01 per unit and beta 2 is equal to 2.55 per unit. So by substituting it, you can determine the value of delta F static 0.00326. Similarly, we shall determine the change in tie line power from area 1 and 2. The equation is beta 1 delta PD2 plus beta 2 delta PD1 divided by beta 1 plus beta 2. Here we know all the values. Now by substituting beta 1 2.55, delta PD2 it is 0, beta 2 value is 2.55, delta PD1 is 0.01 divided by 0.51 plus 2.55, so you get the tie line power minus 0.00833 per unit megawatt.
Function model of the single area low frequency control by using Scilab. Now here this is the Scilab console in which to click X cos. So you will be getting an untitled X cos window. This is the palette browser from which you can drag and drop the required blocks for drawing the Simulink model, that is your transfer function model. Now when you consider this particular block, here we record 3 transfer function blocks. One is for the governor, next one is for the turbine and next one is for the generator. So the CLR block is your transfer function block. So I am clicking it and dropping it over the untitled X cos window. Now I have taken 3 blocks, one for the governor, next one is for the turbine and next one is for the generator. Next I need a summer. type sum and I search for it. I got the block, so I have placed a block over here. Next one is I want a step disturbance. So I type step and search for it. I get the step function. So I drag and drop it over here. Next one, what I require is a gain. So now this is your gain block. So here this gain block I have placed. Now here the gain block is a feedback. So it should be in the direction towards the left hand side. So you can rotate the particular block by clicking Ctrl R. I have rotated towards and I made the direction to be towards the left hand side. The next one what to record is the scope to see the output. Then we have to search for C scope. So this is your C scope. Now I have drag and drop in the untitled XCOS window. Now here I need a prompt because I have to write the have the simulation with respect to time. So now this is the clock. I drag and drop it over here. Now I have picked all the required blocks for the Simulink model, that is the transfer function model. Now I connect it. Now I connect all the blocks. Governor to turbine. Next turbine to the summer. Next summer to the generator. From there I have to connect it to the scope, C scope. Now the disturbance has to be connected to the summer. Next, this gain, this is the feedback which has to be connected. The gain has to be connected with the governor block. It has been connected. Now the feedback has to be connected. Now I have connected. Now here the next step is we have to have the values. First one is I consider this block. This is your governor block for which the gain constant is 1 and the time constant is given as 0.08. So denominator I type it as 1 plus 0.08 as 1 plus 0.08 into is more required. So I get the transfer function. Now this one is the turbine model. For the turbine, the gain constant is 1 and when you consider the time constant it is 0.3 seconds. So 1 plus 0.3 s. So 1 plus 0.3 into s. Next, when you consider the generator, the gain of the generator is 100. And similarly, when you consider the time constant of the generator, it is 20. So 100 divided by 1 plus 20 into s. Now, when I consider the summer, so the disturbance is a negative disturbance. So 1 semicolon minus 1 I am giving. Now the disturbance is of 20 megawatt, which is 0.01 per unit. Now when you consider the gain block, it is minus 1 by R. R value is equal to 2. So 1 divided by 2 is equal to 0.5. So it is minus 1 by R. So minus 0.5. Now I have obtained the entire block diagram of the single area low frequency control model. Now let us run the model so that you will be able to obtain the change in frequency with respect to time. Now here this is the start button which you have to click it so the simulation runs. Now here we have obtained the response of the single area low frequency control. I hope you might have understood how to click the blocks and to form the model of a single area system. Similarly, it can be done for the two area model too. Thank you.